Hello, second graders. Today we are going to work on lesson 8 of module 1. You are going to need your student workbook, the blue book, and we are going to use handout 7B. We've used this already, but we're going to do more with the sentences on that page. So pause the video and make sure you have your workbook open to handout 7B. In the last lesson, we worked to identify the subject of the sentence. Do you remember what the subject is? Let's find out what a subject is. The subject of a sentence is the word or words for the person or thing in the sentence that is doing the main action of the sentence, like leaves in the first sentence. Every sentence must have at least one subject. In this lesson, we will explore the action part of the sentence. We will work together to identify the action words in the sentences from handout 7B. Remember, the circled words are the words we identified as the subject in each sentence. If you don't have any words circled yet on this page, I want you to pause this video and complete the video for deep dive number 7 before doing this one. Let's practice with the first sentence. Number 1, leaves change colors. Change is the action in the first sentence because the action is the leaves changing colors. So we're going to underline the action. So change is underlined. A verb is the word that tells the action or what the subject is or does. Once the subject has been identified, readers and writers can determine the verb that shows the action in the sentence. Let's work together to identify the verb in each sentence. We will underline the verb when we find it. Sometimes it's easy to identify the verb because it shows so much action. For example, fly, burst, and hide are very active. When you think of the word fly, you can imagine a bird flying. It's an action. When something bursts like a bubble, you can visualize that. You can picture the bubble bursting. So we did number 1 together already. So let's try number 2. Birds fly south. What are the birds doing? They're flying. 3 says, children like to run through fallen leaves. Now looking at this sentence right away, I know run is a verb, but like is also a verb. You can like something, it's an action. So who or what likes to run through fallen leaves? We have the children as a subject. Their action is to like running through. Number 4, each season lasts about 4 months. What do the seasons do? They last. Number 5, we wear pants, sweaters, and coats to stay warm. What do? We wear pants, sweaters, and coats. It's an action. Number 6, fall bursts with color. What does fall do? Bursts. That is the action. Some leaves turn red, orange, yellow, and brown. Then they drop off the trees. What do the leaves do? They turn. Number 8. Squirrels hide nuts and acorns. What do the squirrels do? They hide nuts and acorns. And then number 9, some birds migrate. This one's pretty simple because there's only 3 words in the sentence. What do some birds do? Migrate. It's an action. All right. During the last lesson, we learned how some verbs are not so active. Let's look at the next sentence here. Fall is the season that comes after summer. So I'm going to reread this sentence. Fall is the season that comes after summer. In this sentence, the verb is. Is right here. That is our verb. The action is just being fall. It is not much action like fly or burst, but it's still a verb. Verbs like these are sometimes called being verbs. Although we may not be able to see the action, these verbs show how someone or something just is. Now it's your turn. You're going to underline the verb in sentences 10 through 15 on your own. So on the back of the page that we were just working on, I will read through the sentences and you can underline the verbs. If you don't need me to read the sentences to you, you can stop the video and continue your work on your own. This is your independent work time. Number 10, they leave for warmer winter homes. Let's try that one again. They leave for warmer winter homes. Again, you're asking yourself, what do they do? What is the action? Underline it. Number 11, monarch butterflies also migrate. Number 12, they journey to warmer places during the cold winter months. Number 13, we can pick ripe apples from the tree. Number 14, apples are crunchy and sweet. Number 15, we rake leaves into piles. Now I will give you a hint. Number 14 is a tricky one. This is where we want to maybe remind ourselves of the rule above. Sometimes verbs don't have a lot of action. They either just are something or they're just being something. Okay, we're coming in for a landing here, almost done. To be a complete sentence, a sentence has to express a complete thought, which means it has to have at least one subject and a verb or an action in the sentence. Why do we need to be able to identify the subjects and verbs in sentences? Why are we even doing this? Well, here's a couple reasons. Identifying the subject and verb in a sentence helps us make sure the sentence is complete. We need to make sure the sentences we write are clear so someone can tell who or what is doing the action and what the action is. I hope you guys had fun doing this lesson. I'm excited to see how you are able to identify the subjects and verbs in sentences, and I can't wait to read what you write with complete sentences, and I know you will get better and better every time we practice.